Welcome back, everyone, to episode 97 of Pump Fakes and Hot Takes. This week we got a little bit of a change of pace. As you can see, it's not Chizzy hosting. Chizzy's got home things to deal with right now. Busy time for him. So we're holding down the fort, and we got a special guest on today. So starting off, we're gonna introduce our good friend, old friend, Tomiwa. How you doing, T?
Everyone's favorite unofficial co-host, friend of the podcast, recurring guest. Wear many hats. But no, it's good to be back. It's good to see you guys back as well. Obviously, just filling in for Chizzy. Big shoes to fill because I feel like he keeps both of you very grounded. So I don't know if I can do the same because me.
Yeah. I
I
could
don't have
see
that
this.
calming. I don't have that calming spirit, and that's not where I'm at
Yeah,
today.
100%. I could see this being a very inflammatory podcast. There is not the leveling presence of Chizzy, so I'm sure that will be missed. But we'll see. We'll see what fire we can cook up. Noble, how you doing this week?
Uh, I'm good. I'm chilling. First of all, why the fuck are you putting Chizzy's business out in public? The man is just not available. This nigga, you have to put his personal business out here. Let the man deal with what he's dealing
So
with. Okay,
begins
you'll be back.
facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
I
like
I
dare.
mean, to be fair,
I dare.
he didn't say too much. He didn't say too
I,
much.
I, I
Wait.
said minimal
Wait.
details, Noble. I
I'm not
said,
even done. T, you talking? This nigga, you and Trump, you guys are best friends. You know, this man, they introduced you and then they give you your compliments and say, "Nah, that's not enough. I gotta talk. I gotta talk myself up a little
I'm
bit more."
saying, I'm saying.
Look. All I'm saying is I didn't like my introduction. I just feel like, and like we just said before, like right before we just started recording, close mouth don't get fed. So like I took it upon myself to
I said, "Allow me
just
to reintroduce
yeah,
myself."
exactly. And I don't
Hey,
see I don't know there's
listen.
anything wrong with that.
I rate it. That's fine because to be honest, the introduction for T was a little weaker than it could have been. So I'll give you that, T. Noble. We're gonna start off with the fast break trivia. We've got a total of 14 questions this week. Let's see how many you guys can get through in the 1 minute each that you've got. Now, seeing as I have been the victor of both of our previous bouts, Noble, it's not being close in one of them, to be honest. I've taken it upon myself to extract myself from the situation and give you an opportunity to beat someone else, mate, because it's clear you can't beat me. So let's see if you can beat someone else.
This man said it's not been close. Last week you beat me by one.
That's fine. And what about the week before? What about the week before?
You beat me by two. You're acting like you're out here like some kind of NBA scholar or something, nigga. You struggling too.
Hey,
You just struggling a little better than me.
Last week I struggled. The week before was anyway. It's time for redemption, Noble. It's time for you to prove yourself as a worthy competitor for me. Yeah, that's all I'll say.
All right.
Who's going first? Anyone want to volunteer?
Hey, guest of honor. It's his day. You know. We
You guys said
will
it's
be
my day. Oh my God.
I think that-
disrespectful of me.
That sounds about
I'll
right.
go first. I'll go first. Yeah, I'm the guest on the show, so I'll go first.
It wasn't
Disclaimer.
really an option anyway.
Yeah, okay, sure. My bad. Sorry. Look,
Like I said, nigga, you thought.
look. Like I said, I'm happy to go first. Disclaimer: I know ball, but I don't know ball. Like when it comes to
Hey! Don't be doing that. Don't
when
be
it
doing
comes
that.
to
Just
when it
Look at
comes
this.
to
Look at this. Look at
facts,
this.
what's man with all that?
this nigga is preloading. He's preloading the excuses.
I mean,
you know?
I still might have enough to beat you. Like I've listened to the last two, bro. It's
Okay.
been diabolical. But
Yeah.
let me not say too much.
Yeah, it's okay.
Let me not say.
My goal today. See, I'm not competing with nobody but myself. It's all about me. Okay. At the end of the day,
I love that
my
mentality.
goal today, exactly. And my goal today is to beat one.
To beat one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, might
Yeah,
seem like
you
a
gotta
small
start-
ball.
You gotta start somewhere.
Exactly.
damn.
I
Build your
like
foundation and
it.
then
I
go
like
on.
it. I like it. I
Go on
like it.
from
I
there.
like it.
All right, then, Vinny. Whenever you're ready, you come and
Yeah,
you hit
man.
us up with the questions. We're ready. T's ready.
All right. T, 1 minute on the clock. 1 minute on your clock. And your
Sir,
time
yes, sir.
starts. Your time starts now. Question 1. What player was given a 50-game suspension in 2010?
2010. I don't know, to be honest.
Pass?
Pass.
It was Gilbert Arenas. Who is the only last pick of an Who's the only last pick of an NBA draft to come in as an All-Star?
Last pick of an NBA draft to come in as an All-Star. Nah, I should know this. Coming as an All-Star, last pick. I want to say Jokic or Draymond Green.
Nope. Right. How many years in a row did the Golden State Warriors reach the finals? In a row. That is time.
4.
Boom. 4. It was 4.
Damn.
It was
5.
Was it 5?
5.
Oh.
It was 5. God damn, look, I didn't think the questions were that hard.
They actually weren't. Gilbert Arenas, like, it popped in my head, but I wasn't sure. I thought maybe it might have been earlier.
The first one was a little hard, I can't lie. The first one, the Gilbert Arenas one, I didn't 100% expect you to get that.
I mean, the Warriors one, I should have gotten. Gilbert Arenas, like I said, he literally popped into my head, but I was like, wasn't that earlier? But hey, we're here now.
I just want to say, all y'all be listening to the episodes and shit and be like, yeah, I knew that. Come here and prove yourself then.
Hey, look, I gave my disclaimer at the start. Like, I'm not bouncing the trivia. No, all you have to do is get one. I'll make it easy for you. I didn't want to show you up. Today.
Facts. Right. So your answers, as I said, the first one was Gilbert Arenas. Number 2, the only last pick to be an All-Star, Isaiah Thomas.
Fair.
Isaiah Thomas.
Fair.
Right, Noble. It's your turn. Yeah. Can't lie, that he's a 2-time All-Star. The question that I was gonna put is the first one to be a 2-time All-Star, but I don't know if that would have made it easier or harder or made no difference.
Really, I don't know. Like I said, didn't cross my mind.
Right, Noble. You've got 1 minute on the clock. You ready?
Let's get it.
Your time starts now. From 2009 to 2012, which team had 3 future MVPs on their roster?
2009 to 2012. I want to say the Suns.
Incorrect. Since 2010, who is the only player to score 70 points?
Since 2010.
Yeah.
Lucas scored 70 points. Donovan Mitchell scored 70 points. Oh, you mean 70 on the dot because they're 70 plus. Oh, God damn, I don't know that. Move on. That's too specific.
Incorrect. Oh, fine. Who is the 2019 Finals MVP?
Oh, come on, man.
LeBron.
Incorrect. What year was the Levine versus Aaron Gordon dunk contest?
2016.
Correct. And how many dribbles did Klay Thompson take when he had scored 60 points in 2016?
Was it 24 or 13?
Incorrect. It was 11 dribbles.
Yeah,
11 dribbles.
Also, hold on. What team do you support?
OKC, bro.
What was the first question?
Since 2009 to 2012, which team had 3 future MVPs on their roster?
Don't let me headbutt
the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Oh, wait, what was the second question? Just before we go forward.
The second question
again.
was...
You didn't even ask the second one properly, though. Like
No.
I'll be real. The second one weren't proper. You won anyway, so it don't matter, Noble. But the second one weren't proper.
I mean, you need to get one.
Second one was... Since 2010, who's the only player to score 70? Devin Booker.
Oh yeah, when he held it up.
In a loss.
Yeah, he did the whip. He did the whip.
Yeah, against Celtics.
No, he didn't do the whip that way.
No, he did. He had the paper. He did
the 70 shit.
He did.
He had the paper. Yeah.
He did the 70 shit in a loss. That was some weak ass shit.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Yeah.
That's that. I had a few more questions. However, unfortunately, you guys struggled once again.
I feel like his questions were easier than mine on the low.
Was 2019 Giannis?
2019
Kawhi.
was Kawhi Leonard. Yeah.
Kawhi.
His question. To be fair, the thing is, I guess the time component Like it
Yeah,
does
yeah.
make
You
you
can't really
think.
think like that. Yeah, you can't really
It
think
does
like
make
that.
you
Yeah.
think.
It's tough, bro. It's tough. All of these, as I said, all of these I formulated off the dome. This is
Okay,
stuff that
but
I knew. No,
can I
but
just
you
say?
guys would probably, yeah,
Can I just say something? Can I just say something?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Vino knows like nothing else. Like his head is empty. So that's why he's able to just have like trivia about like the NBA and like useless facts. Like some of us, like
We
we're
got
doing other
lives.
work.
Exactly.
We're
Yeah.
doing other work. So
That's
I
what
just want
you
like
come on this podcast.
I
You
want the
come on this
list.
podcast to
Yes,
insult me. You come on this
yes,
podcast to insult me.
every
Crazy.
single time. I mean, this is what
That's
my third,
crazy.
fourth
That's
time now.
crazy. All right, say no more. Say no more.
I
Say
don't
no more.
understand. But since when do facts become insults?
All right. That's what we're doing. No problem. No problem. That's fine. I'll keep that in mind. Now, if we move on, obviously Noble won this week of the fast break trivia. As I say, Noble, congratulations, bro. This was the desired effect. Get you a little worked up. Get you rearing to go for next week now. And I'm glad that it played out how it was supposed to.
Nah. I don't like what you just said there because that's kind of a diss on me as well.
I know you want to
Oh
come
my.
in here. You want to come in here
Kind
dissing
of a
me,
diss
bro.
on me.
You want to come in here dissing me? Then
That's all in, like, it wasn't even a diss, bro. I'm speaking my truth. But hey,
you're
nah, you
welcome
know
on
what?
this pod to speak your truth. That's fine.
I think, yeah,
That's fine.
exactly.
Now, congratulations, Nose. But we're moving on to the next section now, which is interesting question that I saw circulating online this week, which was, who is the worst or most undeserving MVP of all time? Now, I'm aware we're all young guys. We haven't been watching 90s, 80s, 70s, right? So it may well be that some of these answers are more centric to the modern NBA. I don't know these guys' answers, but it may well be. So if that's the case, don't go crazy in the comments. Forgive us. We only know what we know. But we'll start with T, as you are the guest. It didn't work out so good when we started with you last time, but we'll give it another go.
Hey, look,
So,
like I said, I'm a context guy. I'm not pull the facts up just out of thin air guy. Like that's not me. But I think for me, and I think if you guys don't agree with me, I'll find it a bit crazy. But for me personally, it has to be Joel Embiid. Because when I just think about like what an MVP should be, like just what it embodies, past winners, it's like it's a it's an esteemed award. And it's also like I'm not saying you have to win a ring to be an MVP. I don't even think that comes into it. It's just for me, Embiid is a player that, no offense, but doesn't have that much cultural relevance. Like the 76er, they tried to tell us to trust the process. We've trusted the process for however many years. They put him in different situations with different people, but like it still doesn't work and it doesn't look better. Like, is he a good player? He does epitomize like what a modern day like big is, yes. But when you just look at the list of people who won the MVP, for me, like like Vinu said, I'm probably only talking from like the 2000s onwards. I started watching basketball in like 2010, so I'm really talking about the 2000 onwards. But for me, he's probably the worst out of like everyone that I've seen, and like it's a bit unfair because obviously it's not all said and done for him. Whereas for a lot of other people, it is like done and dust. You've seen the entire career, so like he might change my mind in the future. But for now, he's probably like the worst person to win MVP for me.
no, but what do you think?
I mean, I definitely see where you're coming from. I mean, if we're talking, what's funny? Because like MVP is such a weird award because it's not necessarily just stats based. It's impact based, and impact is not something you can just judge through like box scores. So
Yeah.
Embiid was a box score MVP in 22-23. Like
Yeah.
so I definitely see what you're saying. Like yes, he impacted winning for sure, but in terms of like other players that season, like he didn't impact as much.
Yeah, and
Jokic.
Jokic that season. Sorry, even just to like kind of piggyback off of that, it's even just it's little things. It's little things. It's like I remember that season distinctly. Um, we all kind of knew he was going to win the MVP award. He kind of whined about it the year before about how he should have been the guy, and then it got to like crunch time that season, and they had to play the Nuggets again that season. And what does he do? He sits out. And it's just like it's little things like that that like really irked me about that MVP season for him. It's like I did do a bit of research and like he didn't play the least amount of games, but obviously I think he was top 6 in MVPs that have played like the least amount of games. But you look at the other people on the list, top was what's his name? During the lockout season. Was it Karl Malone during the lockout season, I believe. Um and then next was like Giannis, but he was coming off of injury and he still played over 60 games. But it's like every year we see Embiid like not playing games, not like sitting out, like you're fit to you're to be fair, you can't it's not fair of me to say like, oh, he was fit to play, but it's like to be MVP, I just feel like you have to be hungry. Like you have to want to be on the court at every single moment of the game, you know? Do everything for your team. And also it's like it's an ego thing as well. It's like if I'm going to be MVP this season and the person you've told me is better than me the last 2 seasons, we're meant to be playing them. Surely, like my your ego has to be big enough to say, nah, I'm trying to show you guys exactly why I'm winning it this year, kind of thing. Like it's all well and good, like winning scoring titles, putting up numbers and stuff like that. But like, I think MVP as well. It's also you have to feel it. Like the fans also have to feel like your presence that year. And for me, I just don't think like that season when he won it, I was like, okay, I kind of knew he was going to win it. Like he's put up the numbers, he's kind of done everything he needs to do, lobbied well, like he's played enough games as well. Because that was like the big things in the previous years that like, oh, he doesn't play enough, and now he's played okay. He's played like 66 games this season. But for me, yeah, that's the worst MVP for me.
I hear it. It was definitely one that popped into my mind. That year, Jokic was on a powerhouse team with the Nuggets, putting up big numbers, very versatile player, efficient scorer, more efficient than Embiid, I'm pretty sure. Better playmaker. We know what Jokic is. Realistically, he should have won every MVP for the last 4 years or so, I think.
Facts.
Jokic is that guy. He's that guy in the NBA right now. But what I will say is that year, Embiid, averaging 33 points a game, was on a 54-28 team, and his only co-star was Ben Simmons. That was the second best player on the team. We see now, in hindsight, what's happened with Ben Simmons. He was obviously a lot better then. But nothing happened straight away. There were parts of his game that were still missing then as the second best player. So I would say that Embiid did very well to take that team to 54-28. And he put that team on his back, right? So I want to defend his MVP vote here a little bit. I still think that Jokic, if I were to vote for the MVP, I would have voted for Jokic. But especially, you say, T, that you speak on context, right? Context-wise, I know MVP is a single season award. But if we look at how it's voted for by human beings, right? You cannot remove bias from human beings.
You can't. Not at all.
Exactly. And even if I was a voter, considering the season that MVP had that Embiid had before, and he was snubbed, followed by 33 points per game and a lot of rebounds on a winning team where he carried the team, put him on his back, I would probably vote for the guy too.
I do kind of understand like what you're saying. I do like I hear the sentiment. I hear the sentiment, but it's like you then look on to like obviously like with Jokic as well. At that point, Nuggets hadn't won, and it's like, oh, he's been MVP last 2 seasons. Like that's when people start talking about like, oh, voter fatigue in terms of like, in terms of like, oh, we voted for him these last 2 times, and like they've come this close, but like not going over the hump. But then literally, Jokic being Jokic, what does he do that season? That season that they gave Embiid the MVP, what does he do?
He wins the ring.
He wins the ring. He wins the ring, and that's why for me it's just like it's so. I think it's just so silly that like you said, that bias does come in, and I think it was more a bias against Jokic than it was bias towards like
exactly
Embiid, like winning.
You so right. Yeah, that's so right.
I feel
Nah,
like,
because
yeah. Sorry, Noble.
I'm completely agreeing with you because yeah, Jokic had one of the 2 prior years before, and the problem with greatness is that once you reach a certain level, there's only so much more that you can do. Probably not even that much, and the
Exactly.
fans want to see you be better for whatever reason because consistent greatness is not something that we appreciate. I mean,
At all. At all.
like why
At
does
all.
LeBron, one of the greatest players of all time, still get disrespect? Like for a player who's as great as LeBron, he still gets the most hate out of all the
Yeah.
superstars on his level because he's been doing the same thing consistently for
It's like
20 plus years. Yeah,
just off of that, it's like once you reach a point, it's like you can't really get much better. And then any like small fall off or any little chink in the armor that they can kind of find, they'll try and use it
exactly.
against you.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
like
it.
you can argue that LeBron should have like maybe 3, 4 more MVPs potentially because he was the best player in the world still at those points in times. But at the same time,
Yeah.
I just feel like you have to look at it and say you can't just keep on giving it to the same person. I don't even think that's a fair sentiment, but it's just because of like you said that bias. It's like if he falls off just a little bit and somebody does something spectacular, you're going to say yeah, let's give it to this other guy now. You know, we're kind of tired. It's easy. Everyone loves to hate like greatness, like you said. Everyone
Yeah.
just loves to like go
Yeah.
against it because even the year Derrick Rose won, you look at the numbers and you be like, oh, okay, like LeBron. But then the difference between Derrick Rose and Embiid is go and ask anybody how they feel about that Derrick Rose, especially in like I said, I was that was maybe the second year I started kind of really following basketball. And if you ask anybody how they felt about Rose's MVP, they were like, that's the real deal because he showed up game in, game out, and balled his heart out.
100%, 100%. But to your point, it's a shame with Embiid that sentiment came in. You cannot tell me that hometown boy, the sentiment was not involved with that vote. Of course it
But
was.
like we said, there's
Of
always
course it
going to be
was.
bias. There's always going to be bias. But
I'm not
like,
even saying it's a bad thing.
it's not a bad thing. But like we said, there's all like you can't remove that from human beings. Like
Yeah,
a lot of the NBA, a lot of the reasons we all love the NBA is the story. It's the
exactly.
stories
That's it
behind
right
it,
there.
and it makes
That's
it.
it right
Exactly.
there.
And this is what I said in the last episode as well. When we were talking about faces in the NBA, I was mentioning how we don't build those storylines the same way as they were before, which is a bit of a shame in my opinion. But we'll move on. Noble, what's your pick for the most undeserving or worst MVP?
You know what? It's funny how you said we're young and stuff, or young-ish, so we don't watch a lot of old basketball and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch a lot. I didn't watch a lot of basketball of the 70s, the 80s. I've watched a couple of games here and there that I thought were interesting, but like T, I did my research as well.
God
And
damn.
there's one motherfucker. Well, first of all, like back during the 70s, I think it was 60s to the early 80s. It was a player voting type shit. Like it was the players who used to vote
I
for.
think you got the same pick as me.
Oh yeah, all right then. Yeah, it's a player
Oh,
thing,
you
and
guys got history.
on some level, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go history, and I'm gonna go more recent. On some level, yeah. I still think it should be the players because at the end of the day, ain't nobody giving the like journalists. They're on the outside looking in. I like this is a separate conversation, but I still think it should be the MVP voting at least. Maybe the other ones you can share between coaches and stuff. It should be definitely coming from the players, and even the other awards. It should not come from media. It could come from like assistant coaches, head coaches, stuff like that. I feel like different levels of people involved in the game should be the ones giving the awards, not this fucking media journalist. Like now it's dope that we have a lot of basketball players in the media now, but it wasn't always the case. Like I loved when JJ Redick was part of the media because like he would give his picks and he would give strong reasoning behind his picks, not just that yeah you see that boy fly or some shit like that. No, he would talk about how you impact the game on all levels. Anyways, long story short, my pick is motherfucking Dave Cohen's. Dave motherfucking Cohen's
Yes.
1972,
Yes.
1973 MVP, bro.
This guy
This
went back
man,
to the black and white.
this
Hundred
man.
percent, bro.
Yeah, that boy. We,
100%.
we got. Let's drop some stats so some people understand how this motherfucker finessed the NBA. This guy was on a 64 win team, yeah, and he was a pretty consistent. He was like a glue. Yeah, you could say he was a glue guy. He was averaging 20 points, 16 assists and 16 rebounds and 4 assists. Good stats, great win, and we've seen other cases like I'll say Steve Nash, for example, where maybe the stats weren't as great, but like the impact to winning and everything maybe is why people would say that he deserved it. Motherfucker wasn't even the best player on his team. John Havlicek was on his team. John Havlicek averaged 24.7 assists. Seven assists and 7 rebounds, and he impacted both sides of the floor.
Yeah.
That same season, so they won 64 games in that season. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar averaged 30 points, 16 rebounds, and 5 assists on a 60 fucking win team. On a 60 win team, like you could make the argument, like maybe they were winning one way or the other. Nah, it don't make no fucking sense. Tiny Archibald, who came third in MVP votes, you could make a case for him because his team was kind of shit. He averaged 34 points, 2 rebounds, and 11 assists, which is still kind of crazy. 34 and 11 is crazy. Back in the 70s, they didn't really score like that. So like the fact that you have this 2 30-point players who have been snubbed to second and third, and then you have even Wilt. Wilt was also over there. He was averaging 13 and 18, and he was on the LA Lakers, and they were pretty decent that year. My point is, I don't understand. It's not I don't understand. I know. Them boys, but them boys back in the day, they were crazy. They used to do coke before games and stuff. I know that a lot of players must have had gambling debts to this nigga because there ain't no other motherfucking way. There is no other motherfucking way this guy should be the NBA MVP. Yeah. It was like, hey, remember that 20 grand you owe me? Because 20 was a lot back in the day. He was like, yeah, just slide one for my way. It's done. It's the biggest fucking finesse.
These guys have been watching the History Channel.
Bro, for real. Hold on. Let me add some stuff to this. So, what Noble was saying about this, seeing as we got the same pick, I got 1 or 2 more stats. First of all, something Noble didn't mention is usually you'll find the NBA MVP as an All-NBA first team member. To the point that John Havlicek was the best player on that team. He made All-NBA first team.
Yeah.
Dave Cohen's, the MVP of the NBA, finished on the All-NBA second team. And as a big man, he scored 20 points per game on sub 50% shooting percentages, 45%. And this was when you didn't step further from the rim than you could reach it. So it's not looking good. It's not a good look from these guys. And
can I just say, like playing devil's advocate, like you guys said, it could be a thing of maybe he wasn't the MVP, but they just felt like, this is someone that is underappreciated almost, but like does the hard work, does the things that other people don't want to do, and like he contributes more to winning than like what the stats and everything are actually going to show you. Because obviously we've not watched to see like what's going on, like the old timers back in the day. Nobody's shaking his head, but the old timers back in the day, man, I've been looking at it like, we're happy that he got that recognition. Like it's very easy. It's very easy.
The devil's looking at you right now, like I don't know this nigga, bro. He ain't one of my people.
The devil don't know me, man. Facts.
Yeah. I see you advocating, but bro, no. Like I said, that nigga, people owed him money. Let's go check his finances. If this man can give me his 1972 tax,
send the statement.
Exactly. Let's see what them financial
statements. T, I get where you're coming from, yeah, but it's pretty indisputable. I don't know how the All-NBA teams were voted for, but when he's not even on All-NBA first team, I don't think there's much to say about this. How the hell does that happen?
Maybe that is something that, to be fair though, just talking on that point of bringing back player voting, because I'm not gonna hop on or like campaign for some of that. Like, look, me, I don't really care. Like you said, this was the 70s. guys have been going to the ballots, coked up and everything. But more to the point of bringing back player voting. Do you think they could do that? But then also it has to be whoever you're voting, just to like avoid maybe like a similar situation or people voting for like any next person. They have to be an All-NBA candidate.
I feel like almost every MVP has been an All-NBA player.
Oh no! I'm just saying, like, if you brought back player voting to kind of like curb any because when you get to ballot, like for example in America, you can just write on whatever you wanted. So like, imagine someone comes and just like, they want to give
Yeah,
it to
because
Bol
I
Bol.
know both Bull brothers would probably vote for
Yeah.
Jello. So
Did you get? Whoa.
Okay, no,
I'm
I
sorry,
see your
but I
point. I
kind of.
see your point. Yeah,
But
yeah,
like,
no, I see your
whoa,
point. Yeah,
whoa.
I'm
like I
just
said,
saying.
like yeah, it has to be
I'm just
excellence because
speaking to that
excellence
point.
can judge excellence. Yeah, no, I agree.
Exactly. I'm just speaking to
I
the
agree.
point of like, if it was something that they were to bring back, like, yeah, they would have to put like certain parameters in place that, like, they have to be one of the scoring leaders or just something at least. Because I don't think you should be able to pick from the entire pool of everybody. It's like maybe
Yeah,
you have the journalists give them a short list even, like these are the people. And as fans anyway, like even if they try some bullshit like that, we would know.
yeah, facts, facts.
But like
Well,
that actually could be quite interesting.
it could be, but I don't think you can put all of the voting into into the players' hands, as you say.
Oh no no
It would
no,
have
it's
to
the
be. It
same.
would have to be a combined vote.
Yeah,
Have to be a combined vote. But
Okay,
I think they should have some say.
can I give my okay? Remember how I said I was gonna give like the classic and a more recent one. My
yeah.
more
Okay.
recent one is funny. It's funny you said that because you've actually mentioned it. Shout out to D Rose. D Rose is that guy and everything. D Rose should not have won fucking MVP, bro. It should have been LeBron. It should have been LeBron.
Factual. This was my
Yeah,
point from the start. Factual, because as
yeah.
We've
much
heard it all before.
as I know we've had it all before, and it's the same as Embiid for me. I have no issue with the fact that he won it. No
Nah,
issue
don't put
whatsoever.
it. Don't lump them together. Don't
I'm
lump them.
glad.
You don't
For
deserve to
me,
do it.
For me, it
Don't
comes under
down.
it comes under the same umbrella. Not in the kind of way in which they won the MVP, but in the fact that Embiid probably shouldn't have won it because there was another guy who wasn't putting up the same numbers, but he was the best player in the league that year in Jokic. D Rose, he had the most exciting, greatest to watch season in the NBA. If you wanted to watch someone that year, it was Derrick Rose. But if you want to talk about who impacted their team to win more, it is LeBron James. And to your point, T, even you agree with us on that. You said earlier that LeBron James should have won, or maybe you said it, maybe Noble said it, I can't remember. Someone said that LeBron James should have won a few more MVPs.
I said it.
But
Let me just tell you something
was
now.
you.
Let me tell you something now. I'm a hypocrite. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that
you
for
should have
free.
won
I'm
a
a
few more, but
hypocrite.
not with D Rose.
But not the D Rose one. Nah, because you need to understand. You need to understand the feeling, and like we said, now like I said also, like sentiment will come into it, and yes, were LeBron's numbers better? Were they higher in
Yeah,
the East?
yeah.
Like, did they tick all those boxes? Yes, but what was Derrick Rose doing that year? Like, he dragged Chicago back from nothingness, basically, from the brink. In his second season? Was it second or third?
Third season.
Third season in the league. Don't fact check us on that. But he brought Chicago back from the brink. One of the biggest franchises. Was it maybe also a thing of like, this is somebody we also see as being like one of the future faces of the franchise, so let's get him an award now. Maybe, but like for me, you can never say like he didn't deserve it. If Steve Nash won an MVP if Steve Nash won that MVP over Kobe in '06, why can't Derrick Rose too? Because, like we said, that sentiment has to also come into it. Like, okay, yeah, LeBron was playing with, let me not say bums, but like, what bums?
Come on, man.
and dragged his team to playoffs year in, year out. And like, yeah, maybe there was the same thing with Embiid of the fatigue of like, yeah, he's brought them here, but like he's not done, like, he can't get over the final hump, this and that. But just that year alone, the difference between Embiid and Rose for me is the first word I said, is cultural relevance. 50 years from now, you bring up Derrick Rose, bring up Joel Embiid. I know who people are still going to probably like remember more fondly.
D Rose MVP will never be forgotten. It will never be forgotten.
But you got a strong point there. After thinking about it, yeah, like I can't be saying D Rose didn't. It's tough because like the Embiid one, yeah, we know he's soft as charming, like he's charming and soft. Everyone knows that this nigga is made of glass and everything. But like I think the reason why I was trying to put the D Rose one above that one Because I mean, for that season, yeah, it was very, very fucking clear to anybody who wanted to see that Embiid had one mission and one mission. He didn't give no fuck about a ring. He just wanted the MVP. But it's a different thing to say you want to do something. It's a different thing to go out there and prove that you deserve it. Because there's one thing that you can't deny is that he was definitely in contention for MVP. He was such a dominant force in terms, and he was on both sides of the floor too.
And nobody wanted to play him. Nobody.
It was the closest we had seen to Shaq since Shaq.
Yeah.
That year.
At 6 foot. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, Derrick Rose, like, I'm only speaking, like, I can only speak for myself, but not even just for myself. Like, Derrick Rose inspired a whole generation of kids and hoopers. It's like, why when he scored 50, like, you had other NBA players coming up to him saying, yeah, Pooh, you did that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry. Like, injuries, like, obviously, there was no injuries up to this point yet. But it's just like, the injuries do make us look at him a certain way, like, oh, what could have been, this and that, and like, oh, what the story could have ended up being. But up until that point, let's not forget, it was just, he won that off of straight hooping and just being like one of the fiercest competitors night in, night out. Like, nobody wanted to play Derrick Rose. No, like, people will tell you now, like, yeah, Embiid is tough to play, but if you ask anybody in the league who the toughest center to play against, who they don't want to play against, I'm telling you, 7, 8 out of 10 are telling you it's Jokic. Ask them the same question back then. Ask them the same question back then about Derrick Rose.
Fair enough. Can't argue with that. So now we got a little perspective. That was a little negative question. We don't usually do the negative questions, but I feel like we had some good conversation, so some good debate over it. Now moving on to some more current NBA topics. Right now there are 2 teams in the league. One of them with one of our players here that we've been talking about, Joel Embiid, on them, and then the other with a band of NBA All-Star MVP contenders. Both of which, I mean, based on what I've just said, former MVP from just a few years ago, averaging 33 points a game. He's been joined by probably the best 3-and-D player that we've seen in a couple of decades in Paul George. Tyrese Maxey,
Kobe
these
Bryant
kind of guys.
like,
we got Sixers. Huh?
It's okay.
I hear you. Yeah. I hear you, but I don't hear you.
It's okay. You can tell Brandon Bill is his favorite player.
Hey, this is on paper. This is on paper here. But we got the Sixers. We got the Sixers. We got the Suns. Both teams who should be on paper some of the best teams in the NBA. But in reality, they're biding their time in obscurity nowadays, and there's a lot of questions surrounding both of them as to what their future would be, what direction they should be taking at this stage. But which one of these 2 teams do you think has been the biggest flop? Which one has flamed out the worst way? I'll open the floor, Noble. Talk to me.
You know what's funny about this? Yeah, my guy, just before he went into this segment, he just said that, yeah, we have to do a little bit of negativity. It's not what we usually do.
Look, I'm happy we went into this topic next, because, like, I feel like I'm already shitting on a certain player, and it's just kind of going to continue. So I'd rather just, like, get it all out of the way now. So it's not like, oh, it's not like Thomas a bastard. Like, look, I don't even have strong feelings about this guy, but like, nah, you know what? Noble talks just so that, like, you know, me too, I can even just have a break. I feel like I've said a lot already.
Alright, okay, so the Philadelphia 76ers and the Phoenix Suns, two storied franchises with a lot of history behind them and a lot of great players on their current roster. Coming into this season, Philly got Paul George, gave him that 4-year, $212 million, was it? Dollar contract. Yeah. On the side of Phoenix, they had Bradley Beal, they had Devin Booker, they had KD, Mid-season, they even traded away Nurkic. They said he wasn't doing good enough for them. So they made a lot of moves. Matashiba came in, took over the team, like 2, 3 years ago, and then declared that he was going to win a championship and spend all the money that he had to do it. The team at the time had Chris Paul, had Devin Booker, and I think KD was on the team as well. And then they did a bunch of trades. No, was KD on the team? I might be wrong.
He was either there or he was gonna arrive soon.
I think he was there. I think he played. They played together. I think Chris Paul and KD played together. I might be wrong. But anyways, that team was great. That team, I think they had a great record. They had a winning record. But then they were like, "Now we want to go all the fuck in." Traded away Chris Paul, brought in Bradley Beal, and then immediately started complaining about the lack of a true point guard on the team. So, I mean, what is very clear is that these two teams have no vision whatsoever. They have no long term planning skills, and they're literally just going by YOLO, whatever feels right at the time. But
Sorry, may I just interject? Just there.
yeah,
I don't think the problem is a lack of plan. Well, more for the 76ers than the Suns. Like, Suns have, like, the plan was Devin Booker. But for me, the 76ers, it was just the fact that they put all their stock into Embiid. Like, there's been some, like, unfortunate things happen. Like, obviously, Markel Fultz. Like, they tanked for years to get all those draft picks. They had two back-to-back first-round picks. And then if you look at who they picked and who was still on the board when they made their picks, they got Fultz, they got Simmons. And, like, some people can say, like, you can get unlucky. But how do you get unlucky twice in a row? I mean, you actually have to think about it. It's not a lack of a plan. The plan was to tank and get picks and get good positions. And you know what? The draft gods blessed them. With some very good picks, and they wasted it.
yeah. So
Squandered.
sorry, maybe plan is not the right word I should have used. The right plan is probably the better word to use. Because they had their dreams, they had their
Somebody
visions,
had a
everything, and they executed it in the worst way possible. So like speaking on the Embiid matter, like they decided to go all in on Embiid and try and get him everything they wanted. They completely gave up on Ben Simmons. They threw, like I'm not going to lie, till today, the Doc Rivers post game conference is one of the wildest things I've ever seen. I have not seen a head coach throw his player under the bus so
Immediately.
Like
Immediately.
hey yo, the sweat. They hadn't done showering. They were still in the showers. They were still trying to like get the sweat off of their bodies. This man said, nah, he ain't one of us, bro. I don't understand how you could play like that. Nah, that's not how a leader should be. And it's not even one of them ones where you're like trying to like motivate a player by saying these things out in public. Now this man just said, nah, we've given up. Like he's not the one for us.
Giving up on him.
Yeah. So like I think obviously not the best coaching system that they've had over there. Not the best front office system they've had over there. And I mean, if it seems like I'm just going off on one team, is because that's my answer. Yeah, the Philadelphia.
Yes, that's my answer.
I think. Wait, sorry, just the final thing. I think that Paul George contract, that Paul George move, was the stupidest thing, the absolute stupidest thing that they could have done. I said it like maybe 2 episodes ago that Paul George should not be a starter. I don't believe Paul George should be a starter anymore. I'm not trying to harp on his skills or anything. When he's locked on, he's locked on. He's still one of those good guys. But his body can't keep up anymore. Not with the greatness that he had once. So I strongly think that Paul George should be coming off a bench, giving someone a good 20 to 24 minutes, and he'll be scoring like 15 to 18 points, but he'll be an impact player. Maybe could even win 6th player of the year. Every now and again, he's going to go off for like 30 to 40 points. Yeah, but the funny thing or the bad thing is he's doing all that as a starter. He's maybe averaging. Maybe he's averaging sometimes 24 minutes. Maybe sometimes it goes up to the 30s. And if he's not playing no 38 minutes, his body can't handle that. This is the man who you paid 4 years. This is supposed to be Joel Embiid's running mate. Let's not talk about Joel Embiid and his injury.
Yeah, let's not. I was just gonna say he ain't no better. He ain't no better.
Look, me, I've been quiet because I've said all I need to say on Embiid.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I've said all I actually need to say on Embiid. It's for me. Like, look, my answer is the same as Noble's. I feel like you can already get that sentiment from me. Like, it just like the Sixers as a whole, it just stinks. I feel like I've interjected like where I wanted to because I don't like I said I don't want to hate too much. I don't want to come across as like I said a bastard. Like like we could be here all night talking about where the Sixers actually went wrong, and it's just like for me, how do you put your faith in a player that this guy is Cameroonian? And who did he play for in the last Olympics?
Okay.
No.
Okay,
Oh, you guys,
okay.
no. I'm Nigerian. Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me like that? This has nothing to do with where he's from. You need to let
You
me.
heard it here first, guys. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. T said Cameroonians cannot be good basketball players.
If that's what you get from look, this man is Cameroonian to the core. Didn't arrive in America till only God knows when. But what did he do last Olympics? He said, "Nah, I want to know what it feels like to be a winner."
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and play for USA. And did he have his moment? Did he actually do his thing? He actually did. Like, let me give him small flowers. Because when it did come to the Olympic basketball, he did help them.
But you're even forgetting one thing. You're forgetting one thing. This was after he had told France that he was gonna play for them. So he built on them too. He was like, "Nah, I don't want to struggle. I just want to go through the easiest path possible."
Said America.
Yeah, facts. America. Nah. Nah, to be honest, we're unanimous on this one. We're unanimous on this one.
Let's say that. And the thing is, as well, I feel like we need to add in for me is that as much as the Suns, like, it kind of stinks right now and it is disappointing. Let's not even gloss over the fact. The fact is, for me, they're still in a better position than the Sixers are right now.
They are.
When you look at it, you have Devin Booker. Devin Booker needs to like some of that blame needs to go on him as well because since he's been an all-star, he's not improved. If we're being very honest.
Dude needs to step up.
He needs to find another gear. You can't keep on averaging 24, 26, 6 assists and thinking that's enough. And they also need to have that conversation. If KD is going to stay, which is looking less likely as days go by, they need to have that conversation. Who is the first?
You know what? Yeah, I actually think I might have changed my mind just now because, I mean, if we're talking about in terms of which team stinks more currently, yeah, the 76ers stink way like.
But if you're okay,
but I just realized that we actually have to put things in perspective because, like, in terms of goals, yeah, the 76ers were not fighting for no championships. Like, even with Paul George being added on, it was just to kind of get the team to get deeper into the playoffs. They were not championship ready at any point in time. No one ever thought that. No one ever said that. Phoenix coming into the season, we're supposed to fight for a championship. Like, that was their goal. And right now they're sitting outside of the play-ins even. They have the worst schedule. They have the hardest schedule going down to the end of the season, and they've been losing already. They've been losing to everyone. They lost to the Grizzlies.
True.
That I think was it the Raptors they lost to as well? Oh, I can't remember. There was a shit team that they just lost to very recently.
They lost to a lot of ass teams.
So yeah, I think if we're talking about longevity and stuff, who's going to be worse in the long term? Yeah, 76ers are definitely going to be worse in the long term because they've made very bad moves. Yeah. But if I'm looking at this season in a bubble and saying who's been worse this season, I have to give it to the Suns.
Not worse, but more disappointing.
More disappointing. Yeah, there we go. Let's go with that. Yeah,
like, that was the question.
Yeah.
Was the question.
Yeah, more
so like I never had any hope for the 76ers. Let's be very honest.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, maybe Maxey will ball out, like he'll look nice, but like, yeah, were they ever going to win? Like at some point, we thought this Suns team was going to go all the way, or like, it was the thing of, if KD's toe was like a centimeter shorter, they would have been in the finals that year.
Yeah.
Do you get? But like they've never gotten back there.
No, they never reached that same level. Yeah. They never reached that same level.
But also, just last thing. Also, let's not forget that this whole process that we were meant to trust in, the end goal was meant to be a championship. You don't get 2 back-to-back high lottery picks. Was it 2 back-to-back first picks?
No, Markelle Fultz was number 3.
It was 3. But sorry, yeah, 2
back-to-back.
Did they
trade? No, Markelle Fultz was number 1.
Yeah.
Marco Fultz was number 1.
Yeah, they traded up.
And then
When did Ben Simmons not go first?
he did. Ben Simmons did, but I can't remember if it was in back-to-back years or not. I don't think it was.
No, I don't think.
But
I think
near
it was
enough.
a year apart.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Near enough.
Anyway,
You don't have a process. You don't tank for that long, tank that hard, let Embiid sit out for however many seasons went at the start due to injury and trying to sort him out. Like, okay, you know what? I respect that part in terms of like protecting your player and like, okay, this is an asset for the future. But the plan was always to win at some point, or to be more competitive than they have been. Have they gone past the conference semifinals? No.
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 Second round team. They're a second round team. They always have been. But you know what it is? I got carried away in the moment. Earlier when I interjected, I said we're all unanimous here. Noble's right. Objectively, the Phoenix Suns are the more disappointing. Their ceiling was higher. Their expectations were higher. 100%. Direct answer to the questions is the Phoenix Suns. But to be honest, we separate that question. If I just want to tell you who's the worst team, who's in a worse position going forward, it's the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah. And you said we weren't here to hate.
No. The Philadelphia 76ers are
It's not
fucking...
hate no more. It's pity.
Bro, it's just... Honestly, I feel bad. But then I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for the organization because I didn't rate the tanking in the first place. I feel bad for the fans because you should at least get something out of having to endure that tanking. And now all of a sudden you're back in the same position you were in about 20 years ago when AI was leaving the team and these guys.
But,
so,
you know, Philly fans are resilient. They're resilient. Like
Philly fans, you got to be. You got to be, bro. You have to be.
Like, at least, you know, shouts out to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Shouts out to the Eagles.
Because, you know, at least they're giving that city something. Because right now, the 76ers ain't giving you nothing. But, like, you know, same thing with the Eagles. Like, you know, they got to the promised land, but was it 2-3 seasons ago? Couldn't go all the way. And then they came back. 76ers is looking like a much longer road. Let's not get it twisted.
I'm just saying that there's a direct correlation between the 76ers and Tyrese Maxey's smile. Maxey was one of the happiest niggas in the league coming in, bro.
He was
always smiling on every play.
Yeah,
brother.
The wrinkles are already setting in.
Hell,
that
man's stressed. He had to shout at Embiid, bro.
That man's stressed.
How you gonna make the happiest nigga in the league look like that? Like, honestly, yeah.
Turn to Jimmy Butler.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna take the scrubs and we're gonna beat you. And he's probably right. Brother, how is that the first game since Embiid was done for the season? He's gone for the season now. He said he's gonna take care of his knee. They win. They beat the Golden State Warriors. Quentin Grimes drops 44. Really and truly, they need to bench their starters and let Tyrese Maxey play with his subs. You will see. Things will change.
They need to blow it up. I do think they need to blow it up.
How you going to blow up 4-year, 212? You think anybody else taking that? Well, actually, maybe Dallas might. Maybe Dallas.
You people in Dallas.
Maybe Dallas might. You know. Give Nico Harrison till next year and he's going to make another one. So at least... within 8 months, you're going to be able to get off of them from Dallas. But listen, I'm going to close this topic up now. The Sixers, talking about blowing it up. We're moving on. The next topic is to do with Kevin Durant. We'll get onto that in a moment. So the mobility of these players. On the Suns, the only person who does not have value on the Suns, even Bobo has got some value on the Suns. Everyone who does not have value on the Suns, the only guy, is Bradley Beal. It's because he's got a no trade clause. He's not willing to waive that if he gets traded. So it's a very, very difficult to trade that guy with the contract that he's on. But D-Book, if you wanted to, is a very valuable asset. Kevin Durant, if he re-signs and you want to move him, is a very valuable asset. Now, the Sixers, the thing is, the Suns have got a guy who could walk. The Sixers... They don't have to worry about people just walking away from their team, you know? The players that they have, in a million years, would not walk away from the contracts that they're on.
Exactly.
Right?
No.
They are staying. If they could, they would extend them for another 5 years, another 6 years. They would do whatever they could to keep those contracts going on.
I hear you, but let's not talk on player ambitions. let's not go into that.
Bro, all I'm saying is, The Sixers are in a position where realistically they should never have signed Paul George, because they signed Paul George under the impression that Embiid was coming back firing this season. And all of a sudden, Embiid has regressed to the point where Paul George, you could stomach the 4 years, 212, if Embiid is a 25 to 30 point per game scorer. Because, you know, even that 16, 4 and 4 that Paul George will give you is still a good addition alongside that kind of production. Even though it's not worth the money, that's still a good team alongside that production. But now, with Embiid not being that same hitman, not being that same Shaq 2.0, you're all of a sudden in a position where you signed a contract that you don't want anymore, and the other contract that you already had on the books has turned out to be a dud as well. It's just a bad situation all around. But speaking of player mobility, go on, T.
Just before we go, just question. It kind of links like back to what we said earlier as well. Do you think that Embiid winning that MVP and now the gold medal is potentially going to be very damning for the 76ers in terms of Embiid's motivation now? It's like you're getting paid, you've won an Olympic gold, you know, you've won something. You can, in 4 years, you can maybe go back and win that again. You know?
Given his physical condition, I would say
Question mark.
You know what? I disagree. I disagree on that, actually. Because one thing you can say about Embiid is that he's a greedy motherfucker. He
always wants more.
Yeah, he wants more. Yeah, and he's a greedy motherfucker, and he's a sensitive motherfucker too. And obviously we know he's trolling games, which he's actually turned down. So I think maybe not necessarily because he wants it, because I don't know if he's really showed that he wants it. But I think it's more like his image or his legacy. He
cares about that.
So I think for that reason, actually, I'll take it back. I'll take it the fuck back. Wait, because no, I agree.
All over the place.
No, because I agree with what I said, but I just realized that your question is this good for the Philadelphia 76ers? And I said no, because Embiid gonna go find somewhere to win after his contract is done and he's pleased for all the money.
I was going to rebuttal. I was going to say, but he's got his money. Can go and do a Karl Malone.
Exactly. Literally, he gonna ask Golden State. They say, "Come take me on for 1 year, $2 million."
Yeah, hopefully not too much like Karl Malone, though. Hopefully not too much like Karl Malone.
Hey, let's on that. Let's on that.
Anyway, moving swiftly.
Drake?
Moving swiftly. Yeah.
Nah.
Right.
Right.
We're not going into this rabbit hole right now. Anyway, swiftly moving on from the nonsense that I'm hearing here. We're gonna close up this episode with our final section. Once again, Noble is in a position where I feel some goodwill is required. I've beaten him once out of the 2 weeks. The second time, he decided to kind of step up his game a little bit, and he managed to eke out a draw. So I thought, you know what? Let's get him some more competition. Let's get him a little change of pace. Let's see if you can beat T Noble. We will only find out next week, though. So starting off with the first game, I'm going to ask you first, Noble. The Knicks at the Golden State Warriors.
Brother,
who's winning?
Stop that. Not the Knicks. Move on.
Okay, I thought it might be the case. T?
Golden State, if I'm being honest.
Okay, you're in agreement. Even though the Knicks have by far the better record.
Hey, just move on, bro. We don't have to.
Yeah, they have the better record, but Golden, you know, in football, we talk about new manager bounce. That Jimmy Butler bounce, it's working for them right now.
Oh yeah, the Jimmy Butler bounce has been crazy. The only
reason why they lost to Philly is because Jimmy wasn't on the squad. So yeah, he's gonna be.
But we're in the middle of our Kevin Durant mating call, so let's see how that goes.
The Knicks and Peacock.
Right. Next game, Noble, your team. Let's see what T thinks of your OKC Thunder. So we got the OKC Thunder visiting the Memphis Grizzlies.
I go OKC.
Are you dumb? Move it on.
Yeah, I'll go with
Go on to
KC.
the next one.
Yeah, we need a tiebreaker though, like just to make sure that we don't have all the same.
Oh, don't you worry. We got 3 more games for you guys to disagree on. We got a game. Let's say interesting game, I would say. Middle of the park teams. The Detroit Pistons visiting the LA Clippers.
I'm gonna go Pistons. I want see like 2 weeks ago it was what the Pistons.
Clippers don't have normal power
Yeah.
right now, bro.
Yeah, the Pistons are different, bro. Pistons are different.
Yeah, the Clippers do, however, have Ben Simmons. I've said this 2 episodes running now, and the Ben Simmons bounce is a real thing as well.
Mouse you all the way to the bottom of the table.
Move on to game 4. We still don't have a disagreement, yeah.
We're still
Okay,
I can't lie.
okay, we still.
You know
in
what?
agreement.
Just for the sake of competition, I'm gonna go Knicks for the first one because that's the one that is the most 50-50 to me out of everything else you've said.
Well,
So I'm gonna
the
go Knicks
next
for that
one, the next one might be 50-50 as well. We
But
got the Nuggets.
if we're doing this, I want it to be multiple differences. I don't want it to just be one game.
Okay, I'll change yours to the Knicks. I appreciate the vote of support. Listen,
not
the
about
feathers. The feathers are big.
It's not about
The
you.
feathers are big. Okay,
not about
Kevin
you.
Durant is seeing them from far.
Not about that boy will run the other way.
Hey, listen. He said the Nets didn't work out. Let's go to the other side of New York, the motherland. Anyway, game number 4.
All you're hearing is fuck no.
Nah. Listen, we're talking about a Chicago Bulls fan here, yeah? I don't want to hear a peep from you. I don't want to hear a damn thing.
Is it, you know how they said Draymond called KD in the parking lot or something like that? Is it Cat that's gonna call him up? Hey KD, you wanna come to the Knicks, bro? Hey, we're good.
Yeah, bro. They both. Isn't KD a gamer as well? I swear KD be playing games.
Not like that. Definitely not with Cat, bro. He don't want to be hearing that.
Maybe they can be gaming buddies.
He don't want to be hearing that voice coming through the headphones. Nobody does.
You'll kill me.
Which one? The one after the one in the post game interview, or the other one? we don't know.
We know bad bitch Cat is the real Cat. The other guy is just a bad bitch Cat.
Hey, listen, KD be liking that stuff, you know. You know how KD be. So
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah. What else are we talking about?
What's the next game, please?
Game number 4. Denver Nuggets versus OKC Thunder.
Damn.
Ooh.
That's a good one. That's a great one. I'm even gonna lie. You already know where I'm going with this one, but let's.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the other side.
Yeah, all right.
I'm gonna go the other side. I think OKC are gonna win that game. Let me not lie, but I'm gonna go the other side.
That's a really really tough game, but I believe in the boys.
I'm gonna go the other side.
It is definitely. But Denver.
You wanna know why? Because I watched that Celtic Nuggets game today, and Jamal Murray was looking like, okay, he's back to play.
Who
Yeah,
won?
yeah.
Because they were down like 13 when I last saw it, like halftime.
Yeah, then they brought it back though.
Damn.
And then they lost.
Oh,
Yeah, they did lose.
They were,
But, you
they
know-
were back, then they lost.
Yeah, you know, I agree because Westbrook is back as well now after a short absence, and Nuggets seem to be firing on all
Westbrook?
cylinders. Nah, we're not hearing that. We're not hearing that.
You're not
not
finna disrespect my goat
on
like
this
that.
podcast. There is no Westbrook slander allowed.
You're not
Westbrook
finna
slander
do
is
that.
not allowed on this pod.
You're not finna do that.
If that's what you want to do, then you know what the door is, bro. Russell Westbrook
triple-double.
is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
There you
There we
go.
go.
Yeah,
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it's just
You're right. That's still Russ.
yeah.
That's still rough.
It's
That's
just
still
a
Exactly.
tongue.
There we go.
I forgive you.
He still can't shoot for shit though.
Oh goddamn. Right. Okay. Game 5 out of 5. Game 5 out of 5. Let's see if we have another discrepancy here. The Sacramento Kings visiting the powerhouse Dallas Mavericks.
I'm gonna go with my ex-Chicago Bull, Mr. Levine.
Mr. Levine.
You know what it
Mr.
is?
Levine.
I really like Dallas. No, that's a lie. I really love Kyrie. Brother, Kyrie.
I know really you're doing it for Nico, man. Don't lie.
Kyrie, no, stop that. Stop that.
You see Nico's vision.
Oh, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna go with Kyrie. Let's see how we go.
Okay, so we've
Got a
got
competition on our hands.
three. Yeah, we got three discrepancies in this week's standing. So we're gonna come back next week. T will not be here to hear the results in person, but he will be
guys.
finding out. No problem, bro. No problem. We'll let you know when you've beaten Noble next week. And that's all we got for this episode, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, in a few days' time, you're gonna see another short segment released on the YouTube. We're doing 2 uploads every week. We're doing the main pod, and then we're coming back with a short segment just to refresh you halfway through the week. We know you guys miss us, so we will be back in midweek. Any final words, Noble?
KD, fuck no.
God damn.
Yeah.
God